And here we go on the Skip Bayless Show, brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. My Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win this year's NBA championship, as I predicted. I just believe the Thunder will have a little easier time with Ant-Man's Timberwolves, of course, in the conference finals. Because as I've said many times, Ant-Man has been overhyped and overrated, mainly because of all the Baby Jordan comparisons. So SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, will outplay Ant-Man as he did 4 times during the regular season. I'll get into that in just a few minutes. Cant-Man even got benched in the fourth quarter of one of those 4 games that Minnesota actually won. Baby Jordan benched in a fourth quarter? I mean, Baby Jordan then called out by his coach this year for lack of effort and energy in game 1 at home against Golden State in these playoffs. Baby Jordan? What? Overrated, I say, of Anthony Edwards. Thunder in 6. Then I believe the Thunder will have an even easier time in the NBA Finals with the Knicks or the Pacers. I'm going to say Thunder in 5 over either of those 2 teams, but I'm now rooting for the Knicks. I'm going to pick the Pacers, but I'm rooting for the Knicks just so I can see the horrified looks on the faces of Stephen A. Smith and Spike Lee as my Thunder run those teams, that team, the Knicks, out of the building. And yeah, you know it. I admit it. I was born and raised in Oklahoma City. I grew up in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house on 43rd Street, playing basketball at recess at Mayfair Grade School on a dirt court with netless rims, never imagining my city would ever even have an NBA team in Oklahoma City. Yeah, look at us now. Heavy favorites to win the NBA championships. Thunder up, baby. Did we ever just send a message to the rest of the NBA, to all the haters and the doubters and the skeptics, the Draymond Greens and the Paul Pierces who said, nobody fears the Thunder? Do you fear us now? Do you hear us now? Do you hear that rolling thunder coming for you and you and you? I'll dig deeper into Thunder Timberwolves in just a few minutes. These Oklahoma City Thunder have reinvented how to win an NBA championship. They made me look silly in Game 7. Well, I said before the game, they're just going to have to shoot better than 32%, which they'd shot through the first 6 games from 3, 32% from 3. And in Game 7, they shot 31% from 3, and they won by 32 points. I did not see that coming. I am now enlightened. I can see clearly now, Thunder. The Thunder's superpower stat is pot, not smoking pot, which grows plentifully in my home state of Oklahoma. No, I'm talking about POT, points off turnovers. Look, Denver is a very good defensive team, a very good, obviously, ball handling and passing team, thanks in large part to Joker. Yet in POT, points off turnovers, Oklahoma City over 7 games outscored Denver 190-116 in POT. Denver went to pot because of POT, points off turnovers. The Thunder disrupt, they deflect, they steal, and they go flying up the court for Thunder dunks. Did you see 6'3" Cason Wallace, all of 21 years of age, posterized 7-footer Joker? That was the statement play of Game 7. That's who the Thunder are. That's what they do. That's how they do it. Points off turnovers are why Oklahoma City is in another league from everybody else, why they're steamrolling, why they're about to juggernaut the Timberwolves. So moments after Game 7, I did say, Oklahoma City in 7 over Minnesota. And then I started looking deeper, studying what happened during the regular season. And I started to think more deeply about Ant-Man's playoff or way off performances. Too often he's been Camp Man. Thunder in 6. I will revise. Oklahoma City would have won 3 of the 4 regular season games, but the last 2 times they played back in February was this bizarre back-to-back that I don't really understand why they would schedule. But the first night was in Minnesota as the Thunder won 130-123 as SGA outscored Ant-Man 37-29. But the very next night, they had to play back-to-back the same 2 teams in Oklahoma City. And would you believe the Thunder led by 24 with 10:50 left in the game? By 24. And Timberwolves coach Chris Finch just said, I've seen enough of Ant-Man. You're out. Come over here and sit by me. Pulled a couple other starters. And he went with the rookies, Terrence Shannon, Rob Dillingham. And the Thunder took their foot off the gas, and the T-Wolves miraculously came from 24 down to force overtime. Finch didn't put Ant-Man back in the game until there was 140 left in overtime. He didn't even start him in overtime. And Ant-Man did have a game-saving block of an SGA basket attack very late in overtime, but Ant-Man did not score in overtime or in the fourth quarter. Minnesota stole that game by 3. I watched every dribble of it, unfortunately. So, Thunder Timberwolves did split their regular season games 2-2, but in those 4 games, just for the record, SGA, who will be MVP, he averaged 35, 7, and 7 in the 4 games against Minnesota to Ant-Man's 22, 9, and 6. As Campman shot only 36% from the floor and 32% from 3. Remember, from 3, he led the NBA in three-point makes. He shot 32%, 4 games against the Thunder. This OKCD stands for devastating. Ask Joker, ask Jamal. Or see for yourself when the Western Conference Finals commence. So meanwhile, in those 4 regular season games, SGA against Minnesota shot 51% from the floor and 56% from 3. He's not even a great three-point shooter. 56% he shot from 3 in the 4 games. So my money, or I should say my hometown pride, is definitely on OKC. What do I remember most about last year's conference finals? I remember Baby Jordan, Ant-Man, struggling in fourth quarters of those 5 games. One night against the Mavericks, Ant-Man actually hyperventilated in the fourth quarter and needed to go up the tunnel and get some oxygen. Can you imagine Michael Jordan ever hyperventilating in the fourth quarter of a playoff game and needing oxygen? I can't. I'm sorry. I covered Jordan. I know Jordan. I can't. The Mavericks wiped out those T-Wolves last year in 5 games, mainly because the Mavs won games 1 and 2 in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, as Baby Jordan shot 11 for 33 in those 2 games. And after the 1 game that they did win in the conference finals last year, Anthony Edwards actually said on live television, I finally figured out how to play a fourth quarter tonight. The T-Wolves won that 1 game out of the 5, despite Anthony Edwards' 6 turnovers in that 1 game. But he did play well in that fourth quarter as they won by 5. I mean, I got to tell you, I do like Anthony Edwards. I like him a lot as a guy, even though he's in every other TV commercial. Why dunk so much? The young man has said he does not want to be the face of the NBA. And I find him surprisingly humble and self-critical and receptive to hard coaching. check, check, check. Like what he's made of as a young man. This year, in these playoffs, after the T-Wolves lost another game one at home, remember that one? It was 99-88 to Golden State, with Steph pulling his hamstring after scoring 13 points in just 13 minutes. But then Steph was gone, and they still lost at home. And Coach Finch blasted Anthony Edwards after that game for his lack of energy and urgency. Coach Finch said, "You're the leader of the team. You've got to come out and set the tone," said Coach Finch publicly, calling out his superstar. And Ant-Man just took it. When Ant-Man responded, "He's right. That's what I've got to do." So, forgive me, I just can't get real worked up about the T-Wolves winning the next 4 games against Golden State with no Steph Curry. And I really can't work up much fear of the T-Wolves when their leader and their best player, age 23, Anthony Edwards, still doesn't seem sure of himself. Is he really that guy when it's time to be that guy? I know he can jump out of the gym. I know he can shoot it from 3, but can he do it when it's time? I mean, really, really time. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just showed you he can do it when it was time against Denver in Game 7, heck, in Game 6. He can do it against Joker and Jamal, those war horses, those road warriors, in what I believe was the NBA Finals. I believe Ant-Man has been overhyped and overrated. And you know what? I believe he'd tell you the same thing. He's not yet ready for that much pressure and that much expectation. And here come those defensive demons, that juggernaut from OKC, looking to run you, Ant-Man, out of the building. So I say I'm going to say SGA over Cant-Man. I got the Thunder in 6. As much respect as I have for Julius Randle and Naz Reid and Mike Conley Jr., on and on. Thunder in 6. Thunder over Knicks or Pacers in 5.